Yes, sir. Mike checking on that. What's good, guys? Your boy Good Savage back again, man. You already know what it is, man. Savage Talks Live. Yes, sir, man. Welcome to Raw is Savage. You already know what time it is, man. Raw review show. We got to everyone, man. You already know, man. If anyone is live and anyone who comes in late, I'm actually not expecting many people to come across today. I planned this show, no, not late, but I planned it this morning. I only put it in the community post. Community post doesn't get sent out to everyone. I'm shadow banned on YouTube. I mentioned this already, bro. It stinks, but I ain't complaining. I hope everyone's well. Yeah, man, we're gonna chop up a Raw review show. I basically done this show because I didn't get to do. Well, I didn't get to. I recorded them, but I didn't put the reaction videos up on the channel. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna be stingy with the content. If I couldn't put it up on the channel, may as well throw a little bit of a piece of content there in it. So if anyone's not here joining live, that's fine. I just want to dissect the show. And I think I'm just going to add the Raw review show as a permanent one as well. SmackDown review might be a little bit different because it's Friday, Saturday morning, depending. Maybe SmackDown, but Raw for sure we'll do that. And yeah, we'll chop that up as well, man. But big up to everyone inside, bro. Big up to End, man, bro. You already know the vibes, bro. Come on, bro. Bless up, bro, and the Demon team. You're good. I'll be at training listening. Yeah, man. Big up to you and the boys, man. You know what I mean? Good training session and that. Mama said The Rock has come back to Denver. You already know the vibes, bro. I know The Rock coming back. Hyped you up a bit, anyway. Come on, bro. Yeah, I mean, he ain't back for good, but he was good for the one day, man. So I'm here for that still. But yeah, man, pretty much here just to dissect the whole of Raw show and then take any questions you guys have got. But we're gonna go bit by bit through Monday Night Raw. Obviously, I watched the whole thing. Some few things that I like in there, some things that I didn't like too much. But I'm gonna do the positive. Listen, it's gonna be constructive criticism. And I'm not here to moan too much, although if there's something silly, I could fall into that, man. But been watching wrestling long enough now, been around the business long enough, been in the background of certain things for long enough to know that like some things are people can try a bit harder and put a little bit more effort into the products, and at the end of the day it's all for enjoyment in it. So I'm gonna do that without dissing anyone and keeping it like that, man. But you already know the vibes, man. Big up Gary as well. Love for the love, bro. Where are all the women? Are they locked in a closet somewhere? Nah, man, they're splitting some of them on SmackDown, in it. So we have to check that out, man. You have to tell me what women you think are missing for me to even think, because I've seen most of them over the last couple of weeks. If I'm correct, you'll have to enlighten me, bro. You could be on about someone I ain't seen, but obviously half of them are on SmackDown, so be interesting. But obviously we'll definitely get there as well, man. Again, no, and thanks for the super chat, bro. Interesting, man. Very interesting. Let's run a channel update first, man, because I put the community post out, as I said earlier. But community post is pointless at this point. I mean, does it even tell me how many people saw the community post? It should be very interesting because stuff ain't getting out there. And like I said, I don't want to complain about stuff too much because shit happens in it. I don't own YouTube, so whatever they do in it. But where's this? Where is this? Where is this? Community post dashboard. Oh no. Oh no. Bear with me, guys. I just need to check something because I'm not entirely sure how many people it reached. About 10 people. About 10 people. Damn near 15,000 subscribers. And I don't know if anyone's noticed this, man, because I've seen this from, of course, the behind the scenes and yeah, if you ain't been shadow banned on anything, which I'm guessing you wouldn't be if you don't have a channel or anything like that. From the outside, everything looks fine. And from the back office that I have on YouTube, basically, my YouTube channel has been stuck on, up until last week, 14,200, give or take, subscribers. Now, This is not about subs like that because I don't particularly care. I just care about stuff being in the fairness on it. Now, on the back, it tells me how many people subscribe a week, a day, a month, and that. And it goes up by like, I want to know, 78 subscribers a week or something like that. How the fuck is it still on what 14,300 if you're going up by around 78 a week? That math's even math. That after 2 weeks should be on 14,300. But for some reason, it just tells me who's subscribed and where it's added on. There's no one leaving, and the number doesn't go up on the screen. Then when I put the content out, in the back office again, what you guys won't see, you get to monetize your product if you need to, put adverts in it if you need to, or don't put the adverts in. But YouTube will always put adverts in no matter what now. And then it will tell you if your video is partially blocked or this is going to get demonetized because you swore in or copyright. I'm all right with the copyrights and I'm used to it by now. But the partially blocked means that all of the countries that your video gets to normally, some of the bigger countries as well, or with more population like India and stuff like that, big WWE fan base in India, big WWE fan base in China, it doesn't reach them. So basically, all the views on my video, I'm getting about 30% of the people watching because it's going to them instead of it going the other way. And I emailed my YouTube rep today just to ask the question because it doesn't make any sense. There's nothing weird on my channel. The reactions are not. It's not like I'm putting out WWE content and not reacting to it or not doing anything positive around it, or you know what I mean? Because I think there's a fair use policy around educational purposes or reconstructing the video to make certain likings and stuff like that. So for that reason, when I put out a community post this morning, it was the fact that the videos where you can see me reacting to something, but you can see the video in the video, I'm moving them over to TikTok for the time being, which probably won't last very long either, just because they've just had the WWE and UFC takeover Endeavor, which they're probably going to start copyright stuff over there as well. But at least I can keep churning it out instead of it getting blocked, and then hopefully pick up back from there and then move on from that and see. I'll be able to monitor and see how it goes. It shouldn't matter too much because I'm pretty sure most people don't do the video when it comes to WWE anymore. They quit years ago, whereas I kept it going for the fan base pretty much for everyone else to enjoy it. So that's gonna get locked off because can't be having the videos being blocked. It gets silly, and I'm spending hours out of my day and then I upload it red blocked straight away. So set that off in it. So that's the plan going forward, and it stick with it, man. Stick with it. And obviously, if removing the video thing bothers you that much, then obviously you can take a hike in it. You already know, bro. But yeah, man, that's just the update, bro. So anyone who watches it later on knows what I'm talking about. When you come in and it's not live, so don't be expecting to see you'll still see the video. You just won't see the thingy in the video, the edit. That'll be on TikTok. Run with that, innit? You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna put it on Twitter and flipping Instagram. Might have a look at Facebook, but we'll see what happens there anyway. But again, big up to everyone in the chat. Yeah, let's run with it, man. We're gonna do Raw. I'm gonna go bit by bit. I've got it all written down of how Raw went in terms of the match by match. So let me get this off the screen and then let's hit the Raw review, man. Shouldn't take too long, but take as long as it needs. So yeah, September the 18th, 2023, Monday Night Raw. I think we kicked off the show today with Dom and Cody. You know what I mean? Verbal sparring back and forth again. Dom getting drowned out by the crowd, of course, because they don't allow Dom to speak anymore. You just let me know what you think about Dom and the crowd, because it's actually annoying at this point, bro. I don't think it's I mean, WWE's not gonna fool me with certain things in it. The fans are definitely booing. But I don't know, man. They're booing, but the boos that we can hear on the TV are not the same. Yeah, I mean, then they're not the same boos, man. So they're obviously pumping in noise and stuff like that. So that's a bit of a shambles, man. But it's not all piped in. Like, obviously, the noise is there because fans are going out of their way to boo and that, bro. But it's getting a bit silly. it isn't really, it's not really helping. The reason why I know it's piped in because if it wasn't, then Dom would be able to speak. He wouldn't. You would hear it different how it is on the TV. So it's definitely piped in, but not to the extent we think it is. But it's just ruining the product, man. I mean, how he doesn't have heat with anyone anymore when it comes to like Rey Mysterio and stuff. People just want to boo him for the sake of it, which is kind of what they do with, you know, singing Seth Rollins' song or certain things. Like a let's join in and do this together and that. But it's a bit silly at this point. I think Dom needs to he needs to evolve in his character, and he can't evolve if every week he comes out to cut a promo. That boo's getting in there. It's a bit silly. Um, Also, the Cody and Dom thing, we've seen this a few times now. I don't understand why this is the route they're taking with Cody and Dom. It's a bit silly. I get it. We already know the formula. Fight a member of Judgment Day every week at some point. It's a bit silly like that, but it's not building Cody's stock either. You know what I mean? Eventually, you still want Cody to take the belt from Roman or even challenge Roman again. This ain't looking good. You know what I mean? But they got what that's what it is, man. Moving like a house show. We got the match between them, one on one, and of course, in this rematch, Cody won the match because Cody's gonna win the match, in it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Crossroads, 1, 2, 3. Um, that's the end of them. On the way, well, after this match finished, we got a we had the Judgment Day trying to join, and then obviously Sammy and KO come out as well. And then Cody goes to leave the ring up the ramp, and KO takes the mic and basically wants to have a word with him. And then he wants to give him a dressing down on why he brought Jey Uso back. Why did you bring Jey Uso to Raw? What do I think of this storyline with Jey? Listen, Jay's incredible. He's actually really dope. Him going to Raw is not a problem. Everyone having a problem with him on Raw, I think that's great as well because he has caused a lot of them problems in terms of being in the bloodline. The pandering thing, what they want him to do to KO though, and KO being the guy to say these things, it makes sense if he's talking to Sammy. But KO is one of the people on the roster, maybe more than Jay at this point, because Jay's just been joined the bloodline, stayed in the bloodline. KO has turned on everyone he's been in a tag team with, from Jericho, Sammy. He joined the New Day for a bit, turned on them straight away, to the point that when Biggie got injured, not when he broke his neck, but the first time, there was the whole segment around, can we even trust KO? Because you're known for turning on people. So for him to take the moral high ground and for Jay not to say anything back to me, I think they should have gone down the route of have the same thing, but Jay should be telling this guy, I ain't got nothing to prove to you, bro, at all. So it's a bit interesting. I don't really like Cody's explanation to the reason why he said, my job is to please these fans. Yeah, your job's to please the fans. I mean, your job isn't to get Jay to please the fans. Because if that's the case, then why is it only Jay you've gone? Why have you not gone SmackDown and grabbed LA Knight and brought him back on Raw? Because I mean, if you're talking about people who are over in the company, Jay and LA Knight together, probably the most over apart from Roman. So why wouldn't you grab him and bring him over? No, I mean, he's already been on here a week in having a match against the Miz 2 weeks ago or whatever. So I don't really get that. They left it there. Sammy told him to calm down, all that rubbish. Moved on from there to a match between Ivar and Kofi Kingston. Um, Obviously, it's normally Eric and Ivar. Eric wasn't cleared to wrestle, so Ivar takes on Kofi Kingston in a one-on-one match with Valhalla at ringside. Um, I'm gonna give him the credit in this match for the fact that the match was great. It was a great wrestling match. In fact, it was way better than I thought it was gonna be. Um, Ivar pulled off some incredible stunts in this, man. I think at one point he did a moonsault, he did a frog splash, he did a crossbody. Um, yeah, senton. He wasn't moving like a guy that size, which we know from, especially in NXT when they were the Viking, I don't know, Viking Raiders, Viking Party, Viking Experience, whatever the. From them days, they were known as a tag team who, for what size they are, they can do what all the other indie guys can do. Um, so I like the match, and I think a hint of realism in the fact that how's Kofi kicking out of these moves against Ivar. Luckily for them on screen is Kofi's been there before against like you know what I mean, trying his hardest to fight through to get to a title match at WrestleMania. So it's kind of believable that Kofi's the one who's not going to give in into these different things. But it'd be more believable if you didn't make him lose with the New Day like 2 weeks ago, with it was him and Xavier Woods. So the biggest problem I have with this particular match is it's going to lead to nothing. Now, you're probably going to hear me say that a lot today because the matches actually were pretty good on Raw. In fact, they might have been better than good at some amazing matches. But if it doesn't lead to anything, then you're basically giving us 5 to 10 minutes of a great wrestling match, no storytelling. And when it's over now. The chances are by the time we get back to next week, Eric will be fit and Eric will take on Xavier Woods. I mentioned the formula before of WWE. It's very apparent to see now. You have tag teams and you have stables, which is crazy because we went from having not many tag teams and many stables to having tag team and stables now. And if two tag teams go against each other, have a problem, one guy from the tag team fights the other guy from the tag team, and then they swap over, which gives you about 2 weeks of TV time, another three weeks if you add a disqualification in there, and then 4th week the pay-per-view. That's fine, but there's no title on the line. So all these little intricacies and people losing, it doesn't mean anything. For me, I think WWE need to go down the route of, and let me know if you want me to do a separate video on this, maybe a top 10 things that WWE need to, I might do a top 10 video or top 5 video. I can make it short and sweet, but I'll just give that one of those things is, which I said before AEW came along, and they actually use it now. They need a scoring system in WWE for wins and losses, because wins and losses don't particularly mean anything anyway. But on a record, it will. There's obviously channels you can go to on Google where you can find out the wins and losses of the wrestlers, and some of them are hideous. Now Kofi, over the past however long, his loss ratio as a singles competitor is terrible. So Ivar losing to him doesn't help. He does all these moves to Kofi. Kofi gives him a trouble in paradise. It's over. So I would add that in there, especially for the women's division. I think the women's division will benefit from it the most. So I think do that because it helps with people getting United States title shots, Intercontinental title shots. WWE title is a little bit different, but it does help because if you're, I don't know, 23-1 in wins and losses, and you haven't had a title shot, then the fans can start picking up that, and the fans will rally around that person, get behind them, and then they can get themselves a title shot as well. It adds a bit more realism to it. I know what wrestling is. I love it. It's gonna suspend your belief and on disbelief and all. I get it. That's fine. But add a little bit of realism in it. I think wrestling's always been better when, you know, you add a tint of real life to it, because it's not the early 2000s or the 90s anymore where, you know, there's no, don't really want to bring it up like that, but Taker's gone now, Kane's gone, there isn't RIP Bray, but Bray's not around now. So the mythical side and the supernatural side of wrestling and trying to figure out this it's finished, honestly. Like in all seriousness, and I don't want to be it damn near died with Bray. He was the best at it, and no one's going to be able to mimic what he was doing. And he was the closest thing to what we had from Undertaker and Kane already. So that's over with. So let's just add more realism to it. Add the score counts of how many people have won the match. Add a time limit to the matches. You know what I mean? If you when it comes to like people ringside as well, ban them from ringside, because Rhea Ripley been at ringside with Judgment Day. Apart from being injured this week, she's been at ringside with Judgment Day for the past however long. Gets involved in every single match. Ref never sends her away. Add a bit more realism to it, man, and I think people start respecting the opponents a little bit more. Because if you look at someone like Chad Gable, he was on a terrible loss record, even though he's having great matches, but he just kept losing. The Miz at the moment, the Miz might be on the worst loss record in WWE at the moment, and he's the Miz. So let me see if I can get it. Wins and losses. What's that? Oh, it's cage match, isn't it? All right. Okay, so at the top of the list is Austin Theory for wins, isn't it? So he's done 77 matches in 2023. he's had 45 wins and 31 losses. Cody's had 70 wins. Flipping out, why is Austin Theory at the top? Oh, that's just in alphabetical order. About to say, Cody's had 73 wins. No, 73 matches, 70 wins, and 3 losses. So you see that kind of record there for Cody, Intercontinental title shot straight away. Shouldn't even be a question. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying, man. Add a bit of realism to it. Let me find who's at. I'm gonna show you the Miz, and I haven't even checked this, but I just know from watching it week in week out that the Miz can't be on here anywhere good. Can't even see his flipping name, bro. The Miz. 33 matches, 2 wins, and 31 losses, bro. You see what I mean? I didn't even look at it, and I knew that straight away. 33 matches, 2 wins. Oh my god, bro. That's incredible. And that's my point, bro. If you start doing it properly and taking it more serious, bro, all of a sudden it adds on a few things, man. It makes things seem a bit more important, bro. Yeah, I mean, if there's a time limit, it ends as a draw, innit? Simple. I don't know. Deontay said, why did WWE take the North American title off Wes Lee? Why take the title off Tiffany? If you look at their TV ratings, it makes sense. I didn't want to see either because I think Tiffany should have kept the belt. But if you look at their TV ratings, it's good for business. Dom and Becky both having them titles is adding credence to that because people don't know what NXT is. And if you look at the NXT ratings, the people who watch NXT already watch Raw, but the people who watch Raw don't already watch NXT. And it's a select few of those fans. And the aim is to get it to cross over. So now I think Dragon Lee's fighting Dom next week, but he's fighting him on Raw. I don't like that. And I think if he's going to do that, Dom should still turn up on NXT as well. But you're going to see Dragon Lee, who, if you didn't watch Ring of Honor, you don't know who he is. And the fans are going to be like, oh, this guy who just put on a great match against Dom, where can I see him fight again? NXT. And that's where it's going to help. Becky's definitely going to help with that belt, although I was so behind Tiffany that I'm a bit pissed that she lost, but it is what it is. Big up Zen. He said, I had no idea there was a stream coming today. The pleasant surprise. Hope everyone is good in the Demon team. Yeah, big up, man. I hope you're well, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's good to see you, brother. And said, yeah, they should. Yeah, man. I think the wins and losses thing, it helps perfect, man. Referring to your comment on realism, I like how WWE started to pay attention to the relationship history. For example, KO knowing not to trust Jey Uso because of the bloodline story. Yeah, but then I'll tell you this, man, and this is not this because you are right. It's not WWE starting to pay attention. It's WWE paying attention again. The whole of WWE, don't get me wrong, there's always this thing with WWE where the stupid thing they want us to forget straight away, innit? They want us to forget it straight away, give up on it, forget that ever happened. You know, Lana and Bobby Lashley and Lana and Liv Morgan. Oh, Liv Morgan's supposed to be a lesbian. Never mentioned that she's a lesbian ever again. Never mentioned it again. So there's those little things that they always want us to forget. But in terms of stories properly, they normally keep that going. They stopped it a while ago for some reason and had no continuity in that. So you are right, KO knowing not to trust Jay, but it's not really that hard. Jay only left the bloodline not that long ago, so it's fresh in everyone's mind. I would give him credit if 3 years had gone by and this storyline was happening and KO wasn't trusting Jay, because it's like, oh, they've kept that in mind there. But this is a couple of months, bro. Like, if you take it away now, the fans will just screw online because of social media. So I don't want to big him up too much for that, but that is the case. Dragon Lee is cool. Dragon Lee's cold, man. He's definitely cold. As I said, Kofi won that match. Moving on from there, this is a match I actually liked, and I have to give a big up to Nakamura, bro. I know the change in his character in the past like 2 months only, because he was just gone back to like appearing in battle royals and stuff and losing matches on SmackDown. Nakamura, since he's been beefing with Seth, has been great. His in-ring style feels strong again. His character feels strong again. He's got more personality to him. It really suits him being a heel this time compared to the last time. Last time it started off with low blows against AJ, and then he would only, sorry, I speak no English. That's all we got from him. This is a more methodical guy, bro. So he has the match against Ricochet today. Ricochet. Yeah, we know what happened there. Obviously, Ricochet gets disqualified from the match for hitting Nakamura with the chair, even though Nakamura was the one who took the chair out, tried to hit Ricochet with it, and he docked in it. Problems that we got with this one. The big problem is that Nakamura is the heel, so for the babyface to win with a steel chair, not by accident, he literally picked it up and smashed him over the back with it. Doesn't make sense. But I'm going to leave him and say it doesn't make sense right now. If they come back next week and Ricochet's talking about I'm not having it no more and the way I've been treated is not fair and Logan did this to me and Nakamura did this to me, then we've got something. But right now, it stinks a little bit. What was great about it though, Nakamura got the he got over on him, mashed up his leg against the ring post with a steel chair. Seth Rollins comes out, tries to attack Nakamura. He switches it around on Seth as well. Then hits Seth. I think it was like a German suplex onto the table on his spine. I like the ring work and the methodical work he's doing on his on the back on his spine, because the story is about Seth's fractured spine, which for me is perfect. So I'm gonna say this though, and I really mean this. The next, because currently the only thing what's wrong with his storyline is the fact that Nakamura is basically telling Seth, I don't want the rematch, or I'll have the rematch when I feel like it. That wouldn't happen in real life. Like if you went and said, oh, yo, you've got a rematch against me for this boxing championship, this UFC title, and then the person said, I don't want it yet, then the guy would just move on to the next dude, innit? So Seth should move on to the next guy, and then Nakamura should take out that guy and take out every guy who tries to fight for that title to prove that I'm in your head and I'll do whatever I want to do. You don't get to force me. But just saying it doesn't make sense. Also, I'm breaking it down, guys. I'm dissecting it. This is raw surgery right now, because I'm watching these things with intensity, and I love some of the things, but some things make no sense. Seth coming out in this 1990 Prince suit he wore with the cleavage and that, what looked like he was there for a woman. What his only task on Raw today was not to have a match; it was to come and attack Nakamura. Now, to all you guys in the Demon team, I'm sure you lot are great guys. I'm sure you lot, if you have to go to work and punch someone up for doing something bad to you, are you? I'm gonna give you two choices on it. Are you grabbing the black tracksuit and the black Air Forces and maybe a weapon, hoodie and that, bandana, gloves, or are you putting on some loafers and a 90s Prince outfit, bro, with cleavage showing what you can't run in properly? I'm just saying, bro. You come to put the hurt on someone, bro. You're not dressing up for it, bro. You know what I mean? So, but I do like the story. Ricochet was he was interviewed backstage on the way out when he was with the medical team. Listen, I don't want to diss Ricochet, but his mic work's never been the best, and for me, it feels like he hasn't worked on it either. But he was like, I'm fed up with this happening to me, and blah blah blah. Now I gotta go check on my leg and all this business. Ricochet's tried this a few times. He tried to do the heel thing before with the black jeans kind of thing. He wasn't proper heel, but he had a bit of an attitude, and I never thought this would happen to Ricochet in WWE when he first came in, but I did say 2 years ago, Ricochet's made for NXT, bro. Like every time I look at Ricochet and I look at Wes Lee, I'm like, is this not just a perfect tag team, bro? Like, and I'm on about run it properly. I'm on about same outfits, same theme song, bad boy finisher off the top rope or something. Like they met, and don't get me wrong, Wesley was great in his singles run, but once Wesley doesn't have a title, there's nothing for him to do. And Ricochet, when he has a title, there's nothing for him to do. Together, though, in that tag division, them two and a manager mesh together perfect, man. And you've got a great tag team. But Ricochet alone, bro, he needs a mouthpiece, so he needs a manager to talk for him, whether it's a man or a woman. His wife, his partner, his fiance, Samantha Irvin, who's on the thingy, the ring announcer, who, no joke, she's one of the best ring announcers that's been in WWE. I don't want to be this guy, and you can tell me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think his missus is more over than he is, bro. I think people care about her more than him. If she didn't turn up on Raw, you would notice that she was missing. If Ricochet doesn't turn up, you know what I mean? And if the 24/7 title was still here, he'd just be running after it. So it's a shame, but he lost the match by disqualification. So not only does he get slaughtered most weeks, when he does get a chance to actually win, he just gets himself disqualified. Sucks, man. Big up Ash in the chat, bro. Hope you're well, bro. Yeah, Nakamura doing great heel work. I agree. Again, talking about realism, I'm feeling that Jimmy Uso will talk in a promo about AJ Styles and John Cena's feud in 2016 and how now in 2023 they're helping each other, acting as friends. They should. They should do that. They really should. I'm a fan of it, man. Listen, sometimes it's not worth adding. It's not worth going into history about certain stories if it was only wrestling. You know what I mean? If the story was only we had these matches against each other, rubbish, innit? But for example, if Samoa Joe was still here and Jimmy was like, yo, AJ, are you forgetting that Samoa Joe was all up outside your house and that, talking about your missus and your wife? I mean, your daughter and your wife and that. Oh, Wendy, remember that? They're the kind of stories you got to bring back. Because I'd keep it running, man. Because at the moment, it's a bit, you know what I mean? No. Long-term booking, Zach, bro. You see what I'm saying? Tracksuit, bro. Yeah, she's savage. Just be this tracksuit gang, bro. You know what I mean? Moving on from there, we had the women's tag team match. We had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven taking on Shayna Baszler and Tony Stark. And listen, anytime I see these tag team matches come up on Raw for the ladies, I'm not interested. The tag team title has no value to it. Nobody cares about it. If you have, normally if I ask people who the women's tag team champions are, they can never tell me straight off. They always forget. I think maybe the last time everyone knew who the champions were was when it was the Bailey Buddies. That's because they made it seem relevant. The only proper champions they've ever had with them titles to make the titles look prestigious is Sasha and Bailey. Sasha and Bailey are the only ones who made the women's titles look prestigious. They took it to Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, defended it all the way through lockdown, had all the gold. So I don't know. It sucks a bit. It really does. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, they had the tag team match, and yeah, Chelsea's the champion, and Piper Niven just made herself the women's champion because obviously Chelsea's partner is injured. Out of all four of these women, I only like Chelsea Green, bro. Piper Niven was a badass in NXT UK. Once the brought onto the main roster, made a drop, and then now they give her a name back. Nobody cares. Tony Stark and Shayna Baszler. Listen, you was on the path to being some. You basically made a team again. You know that Shayna's been a tag team with everyone already. She was a tag team with Nia Jax. She was a tag team with Thingy already, Ronda. She's a tag team with Tony Stark now. She was a tag team with Natalia. But like, what's the point, bro? Like, it's not working. They keep trying stuff. Like, some people need to go back to NXT and just stay there, bro. Chelsea's got the best character out of them. She's the best on the mic out of them. She can actually wrestle, but they make her be the person who gets squashed. So, yeah. But anyway, this match didn't get completed. I must say, like, I actually liked what happened in this match, but there's two sides to it. After what Nia did to Rhea Ripley last week, that was the champion, and that was the woman who nobody could beat up until now. Rhea's been the champion for a minute. So Nia coming in and flattening Rhea sent a statement out, innit? Today's one, she came out, she attacked every single one of them. So obviously the match in disqualification, and she flattened all of them, threw people into the stairs. The Annihilator she used, which is the bonsai splash, homage to Yokozuna and that family member. Yeah, I mean, she done the running, she done the move. What's the move called again, man? Remind me, guys. The move, man, the one that gives you whiplash in the corner, bro. What the Usos do, and what Rikishi does. She done that as well. So I like the homage to her Samoan heritage, the bonsai splash, the run in the corner, the Samoan drop. I like it. The leg drop, the running senton. I like it. Did she look strong? She looked absolutely like a demon. Although I don't want her to talk too much. You know what I mean? She should have not spoke at all, and then waited until she has an interview one day where Michael called her someone. She's sitting on the satellite link and like, why'd you keep doing this? Blah blah blah. Now the Booker bomb is Seth's move, bro. The power bomb in the corner, but yeah, man. I think it looked great for her. The problem they've got is you took out 3 women, and I'm not including Chelsea in this because she gets taken out every week. She took out 3 women who are supposed to be badasses, and then one last week. Tony Stark and Shayna just joined forces. She flattened them. So where'd you go with that? But for the fact of Naira in this particular match, it looked great for her. I have to say it did. So we'll have to see. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this, bro. I'm not. It's not fair on her, innit? So I think it's kayfabe. I know for sure with Rhea and that, man. But I'm gonna leave anything real because it's not fair. She's back now, and at the moment everything's cool. But yeah, I like it. I like it 100%. Big up Anna. I hope you're well, man. Anna said just back from work. Afternoon, Savage in the chat. Yeah, big up, man. Sen saying the Samoans literally refer to the move as the running corner hip attack. That's what it is, hip attack. That's what I meant. Excluding Rikishi with the stink face. Now, but Rikishi's stink face and the hip attack, 2 different things. Because Rikishi's stink face, he doesn't run and do it. He stands there and then he does what he does. The running hip attack is literally running full force. I think he does it as well, isn't it? Tony Storm. Hers is lethal though. I'm to this day, I'm trying to figure out how people get out of Tony Storm's one because I've seen her tear necks off with that. You know what I mean? Ain't a bad place to be, Tony Storm. That's not even lie, bro. The answer says I see a bright future with Tony Stark, bro. I think you might be the only one, bro. Can't lie. I can't lie, bro. I've not heard one person say anything positive about Tony Stark going forward. She's a good wrestler, but for me, on the mic, trash. Look, trash. In the ring, good. If you're just good in the ring in wrestling, you might as well not be there. Honestly, wrestling's all about characters and personality. Being just a good wrestler doesn't work unless you have a manager, and the manager has to have character. So, yeah, she's gonna need some work on that, man. But we'll see. Moving on from that match and Nia's destruction, we had a match between Chad Gable and Big Bronson Reed. Tsunami. Yeah, I'm not happy about this. I'm happy about this. I like both guys, but after a great match, even though Bronson Reed's gone through the ringer and he doesn't get much wins or anything either, bro. Even though he's such a domineering force in the way he looks and stuff like that, he should be he should be fighting Gunther and that. But the fact that Chad Gable just went through all he did with Gunther to get to that match, lose to Gunther, but it's the champion. The week after you give him a match against Bronson Reed, and he can't beat him. If you can't beat Bronson Reed, bro, then your Intercontinental title trying to get a rematch is finished, bro. What's the point? Why would you give him a? You know, in boxing, if you give someone a tune-up fight to go and fight for the championship, you know, if they lose, they don't get the fight anymore, bro. Because you're basically saying you can't beat someone who's less than the champion. So why would we let you fight the champion again, guys? Realism. You know what I mean? Just adding a few different things in there. But you already know this. Where's the next one? Oh yeah, so this match was really good. It was really good. Like, I don't praise Natalya much because I feel like her character has run its course at this point. And some of her moves, what she does, just bore me, bro. But we have Becky Lynch, who's confronted by Natalya after she made a little promo in the ring. And then we got Natalya versus Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's title on Raw, not NXT, of course, which I'm going to lie, WWE, I think you messed up there. You should have let Natalya come out, confront her, and then then she should have said to her, if you want a match against me and NXT will fight for the women's title. again, putting eyes on it. But we had it. It was a great match. It was a technical match. Becky looked really good in this match as well, which again I don't give her much praise, but she had a great match against Trish not long ago. She was great in this match. Natalia was in great in this match. Apart from the discus clothesline, god damn man, she gotta stop doing that move. It's the slowest move. You can telegraph that move from across the ring. Like you'd never be able to hit anyone with a discus clothesline in real life, bro. As soon as you spin around, I know what you're gonna do in it. But great match. Finished in a roll up, which I'm not always a fan of matches finishing a roll up. But the fact is, it didn't make Natalia look weak. If she wanted to get a rematch, it wouldn't be against the realms of it. But then what's going to happen going forward? And I think when Becky loses that title eventually, she has to lose it to somebody on NXT. She can't lose it to somebody on the main roster. I would have like a triple threat match or fatal four way at like Halloween Havoc. Yeah, do Halloween Havoc. Have a fatal four way match. You know what I mean? Get Shotzi screaming because she always screams at Halloween for some reason. So, you know what I mean? Let's get to your chat, man. I see Gary just said Bronson Reed should be in the angle with Damien Pre-Savage. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. Can you imagine Bronson Reed in the Judgment Day, bro? It'd be a hell of a. How are you gonna do anything to them, bro? You got a bodyguard like Bronson Reed, but yeah, man, I ain't mad at that. What are we doing with Bronson Reed? I don't know. None of us know what's going on with him, bro. Like he's just there, isn't it? You'll see him in like the odd battle royal match, and then he'll just turn up and lose or win, but nothing comes of it, and you know what I mean. Big up Ali, bro. Hey Savage, also hope you well, bro. Zen said, I'm genuinely loving how both wrestling companies tried to make Tony Storm's hip attack into a sexual type move, but now it just looks dangerous. I don't think WWE did. I mean, it depends. I don't know if you was watching Tony Storm before WWE, but whatever that women's company is, there's a women's wrestling promotion, and they're what's it called again? I don't want to be rude and get it wrong. Their writing's like green. The whole setout's green. And she used to do that hip attack there. It used to look way worse as well. Like way worse, bro. There's one of them I've seen her do before, and I thought that the woman's neck was broke, but she's always done it like that, man. Let's be honest, but it only looks sexual because it's Tony Storm doing it, because she's got big ass on it. That's if it was somebody who didn't have an ass, it wouldn't look sexual at all, bro. But you know, cheeks and that. So F2 Legend said, who do you think will win the Royal Rumble 2024? Hey man, you already know I can't answer that, bro. We have prediction in the preview shows for that, bro. But we're not that far away from it, to be honest. It seems like, you know what I mean? Well, Cody won the last one, innit? So okay, the easiest thing I can say to you is the person who's gonna win it isn't in the company right now. I don't know. That's my guess, innit? You know what I mean? I wonder if the person who wins will pick to fight Roman. And if it is, then The Rock. Finally! No. The Rock ain't gonna. I don't think The Rock should fight Roman for the title, actually, because he doesn't need it. You know what I mean? But there is there's a writer's strike on at the moment in Hollywood. So The Rock's got a bit of spare time. But then again, look at me trying to say The Rock's got spare time. One of the busiest men on the planet, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Half thought up, clanging and banging. Stardom. It's not Stardom, bro. I swear Stardom's logo's not. Wait there. Stardom Women's Wrestling. I've watched Stardom. That's not their thing. It doesn't look like that. I swear it doesn't. You could be right, to be fair. I don't know, man. Nah, man, it's not Stardom, bro. I knew it wasn't Stardom. Stardom's in Japan, innit? Man said Stardom, you know. Nah, blood, it's not. I was thinking when you said that, then. I'll tell you what it is, bro. I definitely remember. I don't want to sound like I'm talking shit. So, flipping out. Look at it now. It's gonna give me bare NXT stuff. Well, I ain't searching for it, bro. Can't find it. It's here somewhere. Oh, you know what it is? It's Eve. That's what it is. Eve Wrestling. I think that's what it's called. Riot Girls of Wrestling, innit? That's what it is. Riot Girls of Wrestling. There you go. Yeah, I knew I weren't talking shit, man. Riot Girls of Wrestling. It's actually cold still. Can't lie, bro. Hardcore as hell, bro. I would rather Becky win the NXT belt and just say, is it on my someone to win this, someone say yes, and Becky go ahead and handing the belt to the interviewer, just walks away. I agree. Especially with the fact that I think Bailey tweeted her at the time saying it's about time you won it. That would have been cold, actually. That would have been cold. Oh yeah, we ain't got there yet, bro. Let's go. Where we go? Okay, next match is Tommaso Ciampa versus Giovanni Vinci. I'm happy for Tommaso Ciampa. That's one positive. I like Imperium. That's another positive. Giovanni Vinci is definitely the weakest one of them, and he just reminds me of the default character from WWE 2K. You know, the first guy you get before you change your character. It just looks like him, looking like Baron Blade and that. But again, I told you the formula at the beginning of the show. The formula is if you have to fight a tag team, you fight one of them, you fight the other one the week after. He's fought Ludwig Kaiser already. He's fought Giovanni Vinci and won. Next up is Gunther, and I think Gunther versus Tommaso is a great match, incredible, but they haven't done a very good job on the main roster as letting the people know what we know who watched NXT, that Tommaso Ciampa's a badass, bro. Blackheart, you know what I mean? Goldie. We know Tommaso's a bad boy, so it's interesting. But what I actually think is going to happen is I think he'll get the title match at Fastlane. He will lose the match because Imperium get involved. Johnny Gargano will come out and save him. DIY will get back together. There's another tag team. Done deal. That's what I think is going to happen. But at least he won, and I'm happy. And I liked his promo backstage, really good as well. So, Johnny Gargano for the Royal Rumble win. Gunther to win the Rumble. Gunther's not a bad child, to be honest, bro. He's done well in the ones he's been in so far. I think he spent the longest time in there as well. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I never give my prediction for Roman, but this early. I mean, apart from last time I said that. I think so. I think last time I said Sammy was going to win. Did I? That was before Cody came back, though, when I thought Sam was going to win. But, yeah, there's no point in me giving it this early because people still will come back. I don't think anyone who returns at Royal Rumble will win, but I think somebody, you know what I mean? If it was a different time, I'd say Randy Orton, but he's won it enough times now, isn't it? So we'll see. And obviously Matt Riddle has to come back. Matt Riddle just keeps coming back and leaving. Oh, flipping over, but it is what it is. Moving on from there, which I think was the main event. Yeah, it was the main event. We had Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. Now, I like this story. The story currently is that Drew is one of the guys who have a problem with the fact that Jay's back. Listen, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Cody trying to bring Jay onto Raw makes no sense. Even though Cody explained it, it still doesn't make any sense. I want to make the people happy. Okay, win the title then, and like bringing Jay over doesn't make any sense. But I do like that WWE themselves even put vignettes up about Drew and Jay of what he's had to deal with the bloodline, which sounds more intense than it is, man. But obviously, Clash at the Castle, all of that business, Solo turning up at the time. So he's got problems with them, like everyone does with them, and yeah, he wants to fight him. So I'm mad with that. Obviously, they've already ruined it. Not ruined it, but they've already they set the stall out with letting us know that Jay's lost matches already, and Jimmy and Jay, since both being on SmackDown and Raw, have lost matches already. Quick, very quick. So, it is what it is. I think the story is great. Obviously, Judgment Day have been asking Jay for the past 2 weeks to join the Judgment Day, so they come out in his corner in this match, and they stay at ringside for the whole match, giving him pointers in the corner. Jay's not taking it, by the way, but they're giving him pointers, and when they're going to the corner, they're trying to distract the ref and stuff like that. There's a cool part where I did like it. They tried to distract the ref, and then Damien was trying to tell Jay, like, yeah, man, get up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Help him out. And then they give the fist bump and that. I was not surprised at all that Jay weren't going to join the Judgment Day. Why would Jay leave the biggest faction in wrestling right now to join the Judgment Day to have the same problem? He wouldn't. So he hit Damien with a super kick. He hit Dominic with a super kick. He hit Finn with a super kick. He turned around and ran into a Claymore. And I have to say, bro, the Claymore please watch it, man. The Claymore that Drew gave him took his face off, bro. Like, it took his face off, bro. And I watched the whole boot connect through the side of his face. And he sold it perfectly. In fact, I don't even know if he sold it. He might as well. He might have just. Yeah, he might have just lost. Um, yeah, yeah. I think that's what it was still. Um, but yeah, Drew picks up the victory, rolls out the ring, and then the Judgment Day, embarrassed by what Jay did to them, starts to put the booting on him for a couple of minutes. Drew's on the ramp. The fans are trying to jeer Drew onto coming back and saving Jay, but he's not doing it. And he's walking, he's just watching what's going on. And the Judgment Day keep paying attention to him and then looking back and like, he ain't gonna do anything. And then he goes to walk off. Then he stops right at the top of the ramp. He looks back again. And just as Drew's about to turn around and help Jay, Cody's music goes off. And Cody just runs past Drew, runs to the ring, helps him out. They start laying waste to everyone in there. Crossroads to Dom, I think, or to Finn. Super kick from Jay to Finn, then a crossroads, and then he finishes with Jay and Cody shaking hands, and the Judgment Day rolling out, and Drew's already gone to the back. Now, I thought that Drew was going to turn heel on Matt Riddle already. He hasn't, but the fact that Drew turned around, about to run back down the ramp, and then Cody comes out and like takes his shine away, and his music goes off and runs past him. I think Drew's going to have a problem with that, and I don't think he's going to start off too drastic. I think he's going to build up a little bit, and Drew's going to have words with him, and I think we'll end up with Drew versus with Cody, because I think they're giving Cody stepping stones to get through and beat everyone. I already read his record out earlier. You heard what I said. 33 matches, 31 wins, and 2 losses, and I think the loss was to Roman and Brock. That's it. That's it. So he's doing pretty well for himself in it. So I'm not mad at it. We're gonna wait and see what happens. They need to give Drew something to do, and at least if he turns heel, I'm fine with it. But yeah, that was the end of Raw. It went off air after that, and that was the end of it, man. This current Raw, out of 10, I'll give this Raw a. I don't know. I say I'm quite harsh, but I'm only going against what I'm gonna give it like a 6.7. That's a stupid score on it. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I think it was. Oh no, you know what? I enjoyed it. Stop it. I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it was good. That's my rating for good. And I think 5's average. I think 6. I think 5's average or 5.5's average. I think 6 and 6.5 is above average. I think 7 is good or just over good is 7.5. So I'm gonna give it that as well. But let me get to the comment section, see what you guys are saying. We're closing in on an hour now, so I'd like to get an hour mark, to be fair. Anyone who missed the update from earlier on about the channel, I'll drop it again before we leave, but the community post is there as well to read what I put. But basically, I just said that my reaction videos from now on WWE, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, NXT, the video won't be on the channel anymore. It'll be on TikTok. If you don't have TikTok, sorry, but if you do not have it and you want to just watch it on YouTube, you can still see my reaction on YouTube. You can still see my final thought on YouTube. You can still have Savage Talks Wrestling on YouTube. It's just that it'll just be me on the screen talking in it. Maybe I might put a photograph up of what the match is, and I'll make it look good in it because I'm kind of perfectionist like that. But yeah, that's kind of how we're gonna roll from now on. So because I can't have the channel being blocked and shadow banned, and hopefully they lift the shadow ban, man, because I should. Judging by how much people join every week and that, there's no way it should be how it is at the moment. But let me get to the chat. This will be a good storyline with Drew, Cody, and Jay. I agree. Bring back DIY. First match open call to all comers. Outcomes AOP. I need this to happen. Those 2 teams can go. Yeah. I can't lie, man. Let me just check something. Yeah, I don't know. Where was we? Oh yeah, AOP. Oh yeah, AOP is a weird one still because there was a story about AOP in February about potential WWE return, but then the year before that, they had retired from in-ring wrestling. That's what they said. I don't know if that means that AOP as a tag team have, and Razor or whichever one of them is decided to whatever. But I liked AOP. I really liked them, and I liked they had Paul Ellering as their manager as well, man. Bring back managers in wrestling, man. It's needed. It's needed very much so. We need to bolster the tag division. Sick of two randoms. Listen, I'm okay. Basically, I'm okay for randoms if they're gonna make something of it. So most tag teams have been started from randoms in the past anyway. Apart from a few family members, but they stay together, so all of a sudden it doesn't become random anymore. Like I don't know. You know what I mean, man? Like Montez and Thingy didn't come up knowing they were going to be tag teams. They just got put together and they continued with their tag and their great tag team and stuff like that. I think with the women's tag division, the worst one because they get thrown together week in week out, and it's literally one person replaced. So for somebody like Natalia, Shayna, and Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville, I think they have had every woman on the roster who's been in the tag division has been one of their partners. You know what I mean? So especially Liv, man. Liv went through that, man. So I agree. And Liv should be singles component. She had a great year last year. And they should have followed it up this year as well. Big up Bajan. Bajan SmackDown was better than Raw. Hey man. SmackDown's always better than Raw. And let's be honest, man. To be fair to Raw, SmackDown had John Cena and The Rock on it, bro. Like he ain't gonna be better. So, John Cena, The Rock, the Bloodline, and LA Knight. Yeah, you already know. Oh yeah, not to mention the women's division there as well. But I remember them wasn't Rockstar Spud their manager. Yeah. Paul Ellering, bro. Big up, bro. But yeah, man. Hey, listen, I didn't time it to be an hour, but it literally ended up around an hour, which I'm very happy with. Again, update channel. I know people who have been here from the beginning, you can heard it. If you want to leave now, you can. It's no problem, and I'm gonna leave in like 2 minutes anyway. Big up Bajan. Barry Bajan said Savage The Rock reaction was classic. Thank you very much, bro. Which brings me to what I was talking about with the thingy. They're on TikTok from now on, so none today, but from the next one I do will be on TikTok. I don't even like saying the word TikTok because it's saying like it's made for kids, but it's just a social media platform. It's a little bit more lenient to what I want to do, and then I can do reactions to everything on there. But yeah, still come here. They'll be on there as well. I already mentioned the AEW stuff as well. What else is there to mention? Live stream will still be there. Probably just keep the Raw one just going as regular, and that way, if I miss a Raw reaction or don't put it up, I can still do the Raw review. SmackDown review is going to be different because obviously in England, SmackDown comes on at 1 a.m. in the morning, and so by the time that's finished, it's free. I'm not going to do the live show after I've watched SmackDown. Then I have to do it in the morning, and then it's a new day, and it's Saturday here. Everyone else, it's what I mean. So, reaction videos will stay the same. I might do. I don't know if anyone's been watching Wrestler on Netflix, but I think I'm gonna review it because I started like one episode and I paused it on purpose, and I was like, you know what? I might just I might do a review to each episode. I think that'll be fun. For people who ain't watching it, go on next. It looks good, man. It's Al Snow and OVW. So what does everybody want? Did anyone realize? Quick wrestling, flashback and that. Did anybody realize when they were younger what you were saying when you done Al Snow's his theme song? Maybe that's you know what? That's gonna be my next. Yeah. I'm gonna know what to call it. I was gonna call it what the F was that, but that's I mean it's a bit sweary and that trying to get on Shadow Band, but because there's loads of stuff that I've got written down. Well, I watched the Attitude Era and stuff now, and I write it down. I'm like, what the fuck was that? So I might start a series on that where I'll just do little clips of what happened, because I'm telling you, bro, I was running up in school. Man know the story about my teacher, Miss Rogers, and that, bro. She took my smoking school belt off me. No, it wasn't my smoking school belt. It was my brother. Was it my? No, she took my smoking school belt off me, confiscated it to the end of the term, never gave it me back because I hit somebody in the head with it. I know the person was a girl, but I was wrestling her. And then I told her to suck it. Now, when I told her to suck it, I didn't mean it like that. I just knew that, DX. Obviously, I realize now why she was pissed. So yeah, that makes sense. Also, Al Snow, his theme song, "What Does Everybody Want?" And then the crowd scream "Head," and then he says, "What does everybody need?" And then the crowd screams "Head" because obviously he used to come out with the mannequin head in it, Mr. Head. But I don't have to explain what what I mean. What's understood don't need to be explained. But what does everyone want? I mean, yeah, I do. But just saying, I was running around just saying the madness, bro. No wonder, I mean, I was understanding that when I used to go to christens and like weddings and that. While my dad would always be like, "Oh, don't bring your wrestling belt," because I used to turn up to like weddings and that in my lay the smack it down t-shirt or my smoking school t-shirt. Hey, gang business, man. But yeah, now I realize, man, some weird shit, man. There's some weird stuff, bro. Yeah, I mean, because I used to do the Val Venus thing to at weddings and that all the time. Hello, ladies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, bro? So yeah, I realized. Oh yeah, and then I used to get in trouble for the whole train as well. My nan used to tell me off for it. I know what it means now, but that was my shit, man. Whole train. You know what I mean? You used to tell people to jump on the whole train. I didn't know what a whole train was, man. You know what I mean? But hey, story it is, man. Oh, you must have been watching wrestler. It's Colden. Yeah, man. Come on. Big up, man. Savage had a ring set. Yeah, we had it wasn't my back. Basically, I lived in an apartment, so in the back we had a field. I mean, you can call it a ring, bro. This shit was just made out of wooden cones, bro. But yeah, man. Good times, man. My brother broke his wrist trying to do a move to me, man. He tried to do a missile drop kick and I cartwheeled out of the way and he broke his wrist. Good times, man. Good stuff, bro. Anyway, you already know what it is, man. We did give one geezer Brethren Actar and that. We fingered in it. We 3D'd him off my nan's wall onto a drain pipe. He ended up in the hospital. Big up man like Actar, bro. South Park got me in. Oh, bro. South Park as a kid, bro. Dude, if you copied anything that Chef said as a kid, you was getting in trouble, bro. Because running up in school telling the teacher to suck on my chocolate salty balls on that, bro. And then I used to do that, and you could in Forbidden Planet you could buy them in it. You could buy the chocolate. So I used to say to women in school, suck on my chocolate salty balls, and they go, "What do you mean?" Then I have to give them the chocolate in it, but my teacher didn't find it funny, bro. So yeah, man, bad times, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, hey, bro. Everyone got it in school, bro. Yeah, bro. I was equality savage, bro. If you was a man, woman, bro, if you was into wrestling, pedigrees, Stone Cold Stunners, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You could catch an RKO on the way to science. I'm just letting you know. And that's for all of them, bro. The only problem I had is, luckily for me, I was a little bit older when the punt came out in it from Randy. Because the punt was serious, bro. The punt wasn't a joke, bro. You know what I mean? So I remember Powerbomb. No, it wasn't a Powerbomb. I gave it was see now I know it's called the Uranagi is like a standing rock bottom in it. But like I gave that to somebody at school, man, like Roderick and that, but he landed on his neck, bro. And I remember he had like fresh, like single plats. He landed on his neck and the top of his head, and that AstroTurf had loads of sand in it. And I remember just watching his neck mash up, bare sand in his eyes. And then when I looked to the right hand side, my head teacher, Miss Jones, she was her office was right there. She was staring at me on the AstroTurf, innit? So I did, you know that thing what you do to little kids and that, you hurt them, you pick them up and say, "Stop! Oh, it's cool, man. Stop crying, big man. Stop crying. We're cool, yeah, we're cool." Obviously, man, got expelled from school, bro. But he's, to be fair for Roderick, he didn't even snitch on me in it, but I got caught. You know what I mean? Didn't matter if he snitched or not, I got caught, bro. Uranagi settings and that, man. Bon Miss Jones went pussy over, bro. Hope you did. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, man, bare trouble and that. But big up the man them still. You know what I mean? One thing I didn't run around doing in school was doing up gold dust in it. So any man who tells me they're doing up gold dust in school, bro, something we don't know about you, man. Man can't be running around school doing that, bro. Yeah, man. I was Booker T, man. He didn't just say that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Booker. Anyway, guys, it's been emotional, man. Love to everyone who came through. Big up to all of you guys. You catch me later on if you're into football, man. I'll be on the channel with Endsman on Endsman's channel. at 8:30 doing the Team of the Week, Premier League Team of the Week show. And I'm going to be watching the PSG Dortmund game. If you come across to that channel to do the show, don't be putting the score in the chat. You know what I mean? And spoiling it for man. Just let me watch it. You know what I mean? Let me live, bro. I don't ask for a lot in life. I'm a simpleton. You know what I mean? So you already know what it is, man. Anyway, get the hell out of here, man. I've been your boy, Savage. Comment, like, subscribe. And Ross Clark share. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? Peace.